Hi, I'm Graham, Chief Exec of SCMA. Happy New Year to all of our members, and I hope that you managed to enjoy some time off over the festive period. I just wanted to provide an update about another report which we've published today and about some ongoing influencing work which we're undertaking on your behalf. And at a time when many of you are experiencing the very real cost of living pressures on your businesses and on your families, we hope that our report and recommendations will be of interest to you. Last autumn, we undertook our large-scale Tell SCMA Childminding and You Survey 2022. This received a fantastic response from members which exceeded our expectations. 1,263 of you took the time to respond, and you also provided over 1,360 additional free text comments, some which were really detailed. Some of you might wonder if your comments are read and if your voice is heard, and that's a good question. Well, I can genuinely confirm that over the last couple of months, I've personally read every single one of your comments, as it's really important to me that when I meet with the Scottish Government, the Care Inspectorate or others, and I'm representing your views, that I'm personally aware of your experiences around the country. Your responses to our survey have been hugely valuable and have enabled us to produce a considerable body of evidence. In October, we used the survey results to inform our response to the Scottish Government's consultation on the future of inspection in early learning and childcare and school-aged childcare services in Scotland. Then, in November, we included the experiences of those of you who are involved in funded ELC within our SCMA ELC Audit 22, which we published. And today, we've published the latest and the final report based on our survey. This focuses on Childminders' cost pressures and business sustainability. It explores the extent to which childminding businesses have recovered since the pandemic, the impact of the cost of living increases on your businesses, the extent to which childminders can pay themselves and their assistants the real living wage, the level of additional unpaid hours worked by childminders, your views on your business sustainability, and also on where additional targeted support might be required. Now, we know this is a really busy time of year for you. Many of you may have just recently reopened after the break. You've got your annual Care Inspectorate and tax returns to complete on top of your normal workload. So I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, and instead I'm going to focus on the key points which may be useful for you to know. In terms of where your businesses are after COVID-19, it's encouraging that around half of you have reported your businesses are at full capacity, and a quarter of you that your businesses have returned somewhere between 75 and 100% capacity. However, 1 in 4 of you are doing less well, and almost half of you have reported some vacancies in your settings, the majority with 1 or 2 vacancies. Many of you have also reported that demand has changed for childminding in the last few years, as more local authority nurseries are now promoting full days in nursery, and in some cases, parents have been advised by health visitors or nursery staff that children should be in nursery rather than childminding. We don't believe that advice is appropriate at all. It's also clear that this has resulted in some of you having more children on your books, but part-time, and fewer full-time children. As a result, this can sometimes create odd part days here and there, which might be considered capacity, but they're difficult to sell as they don't match other parents' needs. On business sustainability, concern is not as high as it was at the peak of the pandemic, but 35% of you are concerned or very concerned about your business sustainability, and 83% of you reported that the increase in the cost of living now poses the greatest risk to your businesses. 47% of members who responded reported that their business expenditure has increased by £100 or more per month since the beginning of last year. 26% by £150 or more per month, and 11% by £200 or more per month. And in real terms, 61% of members believe they will have to reduce the heating in their setting this winter when children are present, and also have to switch the heating off in their family home while their own family are present, out with hours, to be able to continue to heat their setting when it's open. A third of members who responded have had to increase their childminding rates within this last year, and almost 60% believe you might have no option but to increase your rates within 6 to 12 months. Now, recognising that many of you are worried about doing so in case this loses business from parents who are also struggling financially just now, SCMA has been developing some materials to support members to have these sensitive conversations with parents and to increase their rates, and further details will be available shortly for members. Finally, 84% of members reported working 3 to 4 hours or more every week unpaid. If you'd like to learn more about our detailed findings, we've sent an email out to all members today with a summary and a link to the full report, which you might wish to come back to and read in the coming weeks. What should be really clear is that since last summer, we've put a significant amount of work into developing and conducting this survey, then into analysing the results and making recommendations. And month after month, we've layered on the evidence for the need for change. Our cost pressures report makes 11 specific recommendations to the Scottish Government to inform the multifaceted and targeted approach which we believe will be required to support you and to strengthen childminding. This includes the need for interim financial support with the cost of living and increased energy, fuel and food costs. Some flexibilities within a national standard for ELC to enable more childminders to participate in delivering funded hours. Short, medium and longer term actions to reduce the bureaucracy, paperwork and duplicative quality assurance which has built up during the ELC expansion. Exploring the potential to provide a financial subsidy to childminders to enable them to pay themselves and their assistants the real living wage and to participate equitably in providing ELC and future programme for government commitments which are important to your business sustainability. Working with SCMA and others to explore how childminders could be funded for some time off the floor during a day to undertake training and quality assurance in line with other early years practitioners. And to work with SCMA and others to develop a national partnership to support SCMA to extend our supported childminder recruitment model nationally. We've submitted our report and our recommendations to the Scottish Government. And in the coming weeks and months, we're going to be using your survey data to inform a wide range of ongoing national policy discussions, including about the sustainability of the sector and what financial support might be required, the implementation of the real living wage and other areas. We've also shared a report with a range of stakeholders, including a Scottish Parliament, in which MSPs from different parties have become more interested in our work and concerns in recent months. We also recognise that the Scottish Government can't solve everything, and that other organisations are involved. That's why we have been and are undertaking a series of meetings with different stakeholders. Before Christmas, we met with the Scottish Government and with the new Chief Executive of the Care Inspectorate. This month, we'll be meeting with the Chief Executive of Education Scotland, with the Improvement Service, and with COSLA, the Convention of Scottish Local Authorities. We believe that all of these organisations have a role within this, and have a responsibility to come to the table and discuss how can we work together and individually and collectively reduce the pressures which you've been experiencing. Finally, we also recognise our responsibility in this. In addition to highlighting where change is needed, SCMA can play a major role within this. We've been leading nationally on developing a sustainable childminding workforce, including by putting together a partnership to recruit childminders where they're really needed in remote and rural parts of Scotland. This is making good progress. More local authorities, including in large urban areas, are wanting to work with us, and we'll have more information to share shortly with you about this. We've also developed and piloted training courses for our members to support you with your quality assurance requirements and to take some of that pressure off in the interim. Similarly, we've got more news to share with members shortly about the next stage in this work. And we're also, as an organisation, prepared to put our money where our mouth is. And we've released some of our reserves to invest in support for our members and also in the future of childminding in Scotland. Much work is underway to develop a new learning platform with new and updated learning materials for members, and we're also committed to delivering a marketing campaign to promote the benefits of childminding directly to parents around Scotland to support both existing and new childminding businesses. We are going to be investing funds to kickstart this, but this will require larger investment. So we're seeking financial support from the Scottish Government and possibly others to contribute to this. And this is also going to require some advanced planning, as it would be counterproductive if we're to run a campaign just now if there isn't enough capacity in childminding to respond to the increased interest from parents which this campaign could generate. As should be clear, much work is underway and we'll update you on progress as we progress throughout the year. I'm going to leave things at that for today. Stay well.